You're a nurse who wants to get out of bedside. You're really interested in mobile IV therapy, but how do you know if you should start your own business or if you should partner with a business that helps you start up? I think they're called Hydrate. There's several different businesses. I think in every state has maybe some different names, but essentially, do you start on your own or do you partner with a company that provides a medical director? They give you basic protocols. How do you know which one to do? Well, I'm going to break that down today. Hi, my name is Tiffany. I'm a nurse. I started my own mobile IV therapy company and I teach other nurses how to do the same. But in today's topic, I am actually not biased one way or another. There is not a right or wrong answer here. It's really what works best for you and what is the reason you are deciding to start this. So let's start with a mobile IV therapy business. If you're going to start from the ground up, it costs generally between $10,000 and $15,000 to start up. And the reason why, this is including all of the legal costs are going to be the biggest expense. IV therapy is very unregulated, which is unfortunate, but the reason it is what it is right now. And so because of that, you would be surprised how many businesses start up and completely skip getting a lawyer, completely skip all of that, which is just terrifying. That is so terrifying. Why? Because there is coming a time, and some states are starting to crack down on it more. And if they're not legally set up correct, then something could ultimately happen to their license, and their business can get shut down as well. So it's going to cost more to start your own business. A lot of times with these other companies, they have like an onboarding fee. I've actually had some nurses come through my course who currently worked for these businesses, and they do have to pay a fee up front. I've been told somewhere between like $2,000 and $4,000. I'm sure there's more of a range, so it's going to be significantly less to start up, and they're doing more for you. But long term, you're going to make more starting your own business versus working for another company. So how do you know which one to do? It depends how much you have to put into the business initially. Do you want to go through the extra legwork of starting up your own business? Yes, it is more work up front, but it's also worth it long term. So it depends how you kind of want to do it. So the other things are going to be with your mobile startup, the things that you're going to be responsible for with starting from the ground up is going to be learning the legalities. So the different boards, like the Board of Pharmacy, the health department, your city and county rules, all of the different boards and counties and like state boards, figuring out what you need to have in order to be compliant within each of those. So that will be on you to figure out. The lawyer can help with this. I break all of this down in my course, but we're just giving like cliff notes. And then also you will be responsible for essentially making your protocols, you and your provider, finding a provider, getting insurance, all the marketing, the accounting, finding an accountant, and also ordering your supplies, keeping track of it, inventory, and kind of managing your business from there on out. It sounds like a lot, but I promise, as a nurse who's gone through it, if you take a course, whether it's mine or someone else's, and this is the route you're wanting to go to, then I specifically can speak for myself. I lay it out in a way that's like, okay, step one, we're going to do this. You want to do all of this before you do these steps. And you kind of like work on one step, move to the next, work on one step, move to the next. That way it kind of breaks it up so it's not very overwhelming. And you don't have to get your business up and running in like a month. There are some nurses that they want to own their own business, but it might take them like 6 months plus to start up because they're working to kind of fund their business as they go instead of coming up with it all up front. So remember, it's going to cost more to start up. You're going to make more long term, so it's more legwork up front. But kind of once, it's kind of like a snowball, especially with the marketing aspect. Once you're up and running, it's kind of like it starts small, and then you start doing infusions, and you start getting recommendations, and then you start doing ads, and then you have your website, and it just gets bigger and bigger, and it makes it easier because it's less you have to do because you kind of already started that momentum. Now with the other, if you're going to use a business to do this for you, it's going to be a much easier startup process because I actually cannot tell you everything that is included, but I know generally they will provide a medical director for you. Sometimes they will cover insurance or, have some deals of who they, for coverage. A lot of times they'll provide basic protocols. There's a nurse that I had go through one of my courses. She lives here in Oklahoma, and she was a part of one of these. She said they gave her basic protocols, but there was very little guidance. So she still had to learn all of the stuff on her own, which is the same thing that you do when you start your own business. So for that reason, she goes, I just want to start my own because I'm doing everything anyways. And with these the businesses that help you start up also, they don't always find all of your, your patients for you. A lot of times you still have to find your own patients, but they may throw you one here and there as, if they have someone that pops up in your area that may need help. Because a lot of times these businesses, their business structure is more, let's see how many nurses we can get on board because we already have the business model. And the more nurses that we have on, the more that we make. And then obviously it's kind of, I'm not saying it is, but think about it as an MLM. You have like a product you're trying to sell, which is the infusions, and then you're bringing people on to essentially find patients to sell the infusions for you. It's similar with these businesses. They're bringing nurses on, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but they make money a lot of times off of the nurses, not so much, and the infusions. It's just a different business model is essentially what it is. So this would be a good business model though, if you're somebody who wants to do this, you do not want to spend as much to start up, and you don't mind finding your own clients, but really the main thing is you don't have time to do all the startup on your own, and you're okay still making money on the side and finding your clients and them occasionally giving it to you, then yes, that is a great option for you. So that's kind of the breakdown of both of them. From experience, I can tell you we've been doing this a year and a half now, and the whole first year I did organic marketing, meaning I used social media. We didn't do paid ads. I built our website, so it was not fully optimized for people to even be able to find it, and we became debt-free with our business. It was 10 months in, and I was able to leave bedside at 6 months, and I do this full time now. So now we're starting to implement the paid marketing, and it's just like stepping up a notch, and really stuff is starting to get easier because I'm like, oh my gosh, I can pay to find my patients. It's all about having a good marketer. I have other videos on this too. Right here, if you want to click at the end of this video, there will be a link to how you can market and kind of the strategy that I use that you can use as well. So those are the differences between the two. It's really going to ultimately come down to what works best for you and what is your goals long term of doing it. One other thing with starting your own business, there are so many growth opportunities. There are some nurses that will just start their own business and their whole goal is just to make money on the side. You can totally do that. You also can build up your clientele to where it's all you do, like you do it full time. You also can decide to hire nurses and kind of expand that way, or you don't have to. You can just do them all yourself. And if someone books an infusion someday you don't want to do it, just tell them no. It's kind of works like what you want to do on your schedule. You also can kind of like essentially franchise your business long term. If you find a system that's going to work well and if you can duplicate it, then you can kind of franchise it. So there are so many aspects that you can do. And obviously, all of this is helping the patients. You're just you get to make your own business model. And so, yes, you can help patients, but obviously any of this is a business, so you have to know the business side of things as well. So that's my other little tidbit. Stay tuned for our next video next week, and make sure that you're subscribed and turn on your notifications. That way you're notified every single time that I upload a video so it can help you better in your startup process. Bye.